Should we jump right into
Let's
that?
jump right into it.
All
Of
right.
course, as you and I are recording this, we're one day removed from the 30th anniversary of Raw. Of course, this weekend, everybody's talking about the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
We'll table the Rumble talk for a moment. But our old pal Vince Russo had a theory as to why you weren't on the 30th anniversary show when so many other legends were. And he thought maybe the Micker had some heat. What gives?
Absolutely not. I will say I have had some heat over the years. There may be, maybe if you polled everyone in WWE, maybe I have heat with someone that I'm not aware of. But to the best of my knowledge, like everything's going really well. I'm involved to some extent with this show on WWE. I've spent more time in Connecticut, not necessarily WWE headquarters, but right up the road working with WWE personnel on a show I'm really proud of. I'm really, really proud of this. But there's an extravagant amount of traveling because I have to travel to where the talent is available when they are available. So it's not like logistically a loop is being set up. It's
Right.
not like they're going, okay, what's best for, I'm about to do Vince, what's best for Mike? Basically, if I can visit the milk truck in Modesto, California, I got to go out and see that milk truck when Kurt Angle is available.
Right.
And, Bill Goldberg's a man of, he's got a lot of things on the plate. So I've got to go out to Kansas when Bill's available. Not because he lives there, but that's because that's where our collector is. And so just for example, there was one 3-day stretch where I went from Florida to Modesto, California to Boston.
Oh, man.
Boston to Hutchinson, Kansas, which is not a direct flight.
No.
And then back to Florida. And so you're literally putting like 30 flying hours together by the time you're done. And especially if something's not nonstop. I always, it can be very time consuming. So I always consider the time door to door.
Yes.
So that someone goes, I remember like WWE used to say that it was like a 16-hour flight to Afghanistan. Maybe once you get everybody to California, it's 16 hours. But door to door, it's about a 40-hour trip.
Wow.
So, for example, visiting Steve Austin at his ranch is more time-consuming than going to other countries. It just is. It's about a 13-hour one-way trip, and I'm glad to do it, which might explain why Steve wasn't on Raw either.
Right.
And that's not a matter of heat. That's just a matter probably of a guy saying, I don't want to travel 26 hours
Sure.
round trip, especially on the 30th anniversary of Raw. Like every anniversary, falls in that third week of January, where they have, to me, the second biggest show of the year to promote. So going in that there's only room for like 3 speaking roles.
Right.
And that everyone else is in the poker game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a long way to go. When you've been on the road for 25 days or whatever the case is, and you just want to see your family. So in the interest of full disclosure, like I've visited my mom. That's a 4-day block.
Right.
But I'm a son. I'm trying to be there for her, so I include that. And even now, right before we took the air, I was trying to change my rental car schedule because I realized that instead of that if I changed my schedule and instead of flying out of Huntsville to Chicago for the next episode that I may or may not be hosting, that if I chose instead to drive 8.5 hours, I could see my family and still kind of be there by the time. And so that's the decision I made, is you put a lot of value on that time at home, especially when you're in like a 4 or 5 month block where you haven't been home very much. And I just felt like I needed those 2 days with my family more than the show needed me. And besides that point, I did say to John Cohn, I said, John, I've also got, we've got the show, to promote, and the 25th year anniversary of Hell in a Cell. Last time I was on WWE programming was a little over 2 years ago for The Undertaker's tribute. And I think the last time I had a speaking role was a year before that. So if it's my first thing in time in 3 years, I just feel like there's more of a contribution that I could make.
Yes.
If it comes to helping promote the show or something that perhaps Undertaker and I can do together to honor the 25th anniversary of the Cell match. And all that went into the decision-making process. And I came up with the idea that it would be better for me to be at home for that particular show. But there's no heat.
No.
I enjoyed the show. But like I said, there's like 3 speaking roles there for the legends, and it's a lot of fun. But I just decided it'd be better for everyone if I just, you know, took a pass and showed up a couple months later.